1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door.
Freddy Krueger, the Springwood Slasher, the bastard son of 100 maniacs, a demon straight from the depths of hell, hell-bent on seeking revenge on the teenagers of Elm Street, haunting and killing them one by one in their dreams. Freddy is one of the most iconic slashers of all times. He definitely holds a spot on Mount Slashmore. He is the villain in 9 movies, has had his own TV show, and has been featured in many video games including Mortal Kombat. Through his reign of terror, he has racked up over 60 kills, which may seem low for one of the most iconic slashers of all times, but it's the way he kills his victims that cements him on that list. He is one of my favorite slashers, and in this video I'm going to share my top 10 favorite Freddy kills and show why he is in fact the stuff
nightmares are made of. Welcome to killer content. Tina. Now let's get into my top 10 kills. Number 10.
Coach Snyder. After a night out in hopes of being tied up and used as a meat bag, he finds himself in Freddy Krueger's crosshairs, and Freddy gives him his very wish, as he is tied up and becomes Freddy's meat bag. Coach Snyder runs into Jesse while being in a bar and takes him back to school for punishment, as Jesse was underage at a bar. While making Jesse run laps, Freddy sets out to kill Coach Snyder in his own sick, twisted, and sadistic version of S&M. He is dragged to the scalding hot showers by jump ropes. While tied naked to the shower heads, Freddy unleashes a brutal attack to Coach Snyder's backside. Coach Snyder was looking for a brutal attack to his backside, but not the one Freddy gave him.
Number 9.
Taryn White, a patient of West End Hill Mental Facility. She was an ex-drug addict and ex-prostitute. While being a resident, she teamed up with the other troubled teens and formed the Dream Warriors. In her showdown with Freddy Krueger, she became a beautiful badass with switchblades. In her fight with Freddy, she manages to stab him twice, only to be injected with 8 syringes full of heroin. Forced a drug overdose she never asked for. With no Narcan in sight, she succumbed to a deadly and tragic heroin overdose.
Number 8.
Ron Grady. Destroying whatever hopes Jesse had of becoming butt buddies with Grady, Freddy locks the door, and out of Jesse, Freddy comes out. Or did Jesse come out? Anyway, with the door locked, Grady is trapped in his room with nowhere to go. With Jesse's limp body laying on the floor, Freddy makes a beeline straight for Grady. As he tries with no avail to open the door, screaming for help, his parents make way to his door. They are met with Freddy's knives slashing through Grady and hard wood. I mean his door.
This countdown brought to you by Fu Manchu's Sear.
Number 7.
Mark Davis, also a resident at West End Hill Mental Facility. He manages to swipe the guards' keys by showing his ass. No, he literally shows his ass. When they come in to sedate him, he swipes their keys, which he uses later to escape. Mark accidentally mentions Freddy Krueger at school after his escape, resulting in mass fear amongst the other teenagers, which is what gives Freddy Krueger his strength and power. Later, Mark tries to stay awake but drops his last anti-sleep pill and ends up falling asleep anyway. In his dream, he sees visions of his brother who died from a supposed suicide in the bathtub, an actual bloodbath. Freddy shows up during this dream using his back as a canvas. He catches Mark's back on fire, and the burned flesh spells out Freddy's back. He also slashes Mark's face just for the sake of it.
Number 6.
Kristen Parker. Most girls love to be considered smoking hot, but I don't think that's what Kristen Parker had in mind when she was burned to death. Freddy haunted Kristen's nightmares. She had a dream where Freddy decapitates her mother. She was thrown in West End Hill Mental Facility, thought to be suicidal, when it was Freddy who actually cut her wrist. She is thrown into a lit furnace in her dream like a rag doll, screaming in pain. While in the real world, she burns to death while still asleep in her bed. There is nothing worse than being burned alive. Kristen suffered a brutal death at the hands of Freddy.
Number 5.
Dan Jordan. With a promising career in football where he would get paid to throw balls, he also throws balls to Alice and gets her pregnant. After his head-on collision with Alice in her bedroom, Dan later dies in an actual head-on collision with an 18-wheeler. Dan falls asleep while driving his truck. In his dream, he is riding a motorcycle. During the dream, the motorcycle starts morphing and mending Dan with the motorcycle itself, with metal, electronics, and wire. When he is fully one with the cyborg Freddy / motorcycle, Freddy pushes speeds of over 100 miles per hour. Dan hasn't been this fast since the night he impregnated Alice. Anyway, Dan is abruptly awakened back into reality by the 18-wheeler's horn he is about to collide with head on. In a fiery explosion, Dan dies from blunt force trauma and burns to death. Remember, don't dream and drive.
Hit that subscribe button now. Number 4.
Philip Anderson. Another teen sent to Weston Hill because he told people a man with fingernails was chasing him. These days, kids being chased by men with fingernails seems to happen daily. Before he ever got a chance to explore his powers as a dream warrior, he jumps to his death assisted by Freddy Krueger. Freddy slashes into Philip's arms and legs, ripping out nerves and arteries, which he uses as puppet string to lead Philip to the highest floor at Weston Hill. In the real world, it looks as if Philip is just sleepwalking. As the other teenagers watch in terror, Freddy cuts Philip's strings, making him jump to his death against his will. Philip becomes a splat on the pavement.
Number 3.
Jennifer Caulfield. She was another resident at Weston Hills. Before social media, OnlyFans, and Instagram, we had girls like Jennifer who wanted to be famous without showing their ass. She had dreams of getting a big break into TV. Freddy grants her this very wish, after forcing herself to watch late night TV by burning herself with cigarettes because she knew Krueger awaited her in her dreams. But she falls asleep anyway. Freddy morphs out of the TV with cyborg arms, smashing Jennifer headfirst into the TV, giving her her big break into TV, causing blunt force head trauma, a broken neck, and most likely electrocution. This is one of my favorite kills in the Elm Street series.
Subscribe now or do not fall asleep. Number 2.
Glenn Lance. Considered one of the most grisly deaths in the Elm Street series, this could have easily been number 1. In a shocking but actually unseen death, your mind is left to wonder what happened to Glenn when he's pulled through his mattress and out of view, only for thousands of gallons of blood to explode up to the ceiling. There's no telling the fate Glenn suffered when he was pulled through his mattress. His mom opens his bedroom door only to reveal a horror scene she could have never imagined. As the blood falls right in front of her face, she can only scream in shock. This wasn't the last time something nasty happened in Johnny Depp's bed.
Number 1.
And last but not least, Tina Gray. Freddy Krueger's first kill, and his most brutal on-screen kill in my opinion. It only took a few minutes to violently turn Tina's world literally upside down. 1 minute, she's riding Rod's rod, then she's violently killed screaming for her life, dragged up and down walls and across ceilings while Rod can only watch in terror. Freddy then slices Tina open like a fish. Looks like Rod wasn't the only one who got all up in Tina's guts. I put this number 1 as it is Krueger's first on-screen kill. In my opinion, they should have done more kills like this in the Elm Street series. And that's my top 10 Freddy Krueger kills. If I don't die in my sleep, I'll see you next week.
5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, gonna stay up late. 9, 10, never sleep again.
This is just a dream. He isn't real.